Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, January 27th. Well, an air mass that originated in Siberia more than a week ago, then crossed over the North Pole, plunged southward through the central part of Canada, has now entered the United States. It has invaded the upper part of the Midwest, the Great Lakes region. Right now, temperatures are about 15 degrees below zero in Minneapolis, 6 degrees below in Madison, Wisconsin, near zero in Chicago. Those temperatures are going nowhere over the next several hours. In fact, could continue to drop. Wind chills in that part of the country will drop to an outrageous 30, 40, 50 degrees below zero over the next day or two. The core of this brutal cold Siberian air mass will exist over the upper part of the Midwest, the Great Lakes region, over the next 24 to 36 hours or so, with temperature departures from normal, the greatest in that part of the country. However, that extreme cold will extend all the way to the East Coast and all the way to the Deep South. Expect more single-digit lows here along the I-95 corridor over the next couple of nights, and down in the Deep South in the southeastern part of the country, from Texas all the way to southeastern Virginia, there will be a storm producing frozen precipitation, sleet, freezing rain, and snow all the way from Texas to southeastern Virginia from Tuesday into Wednesday, and there can even be some significant snow from that storm in the Carolinas, for example, from Tuesday into Wednesday. Well, let's start off with the 24-hour temperature change map that we get from the Penn State eWall site, and you can see a big drop in temperatures from this morning compared to yesterday morning. This is the region where that Siberian air mass has already invaded. Some 40, 45 degrees temperature change. Here's a 45-degree temperature change from this time today versus this time yesterday. Of course, this will translate to the East Coast. Right now, along the East Coast, much warmer conditions this morning compared to yesterday morning. We have a spike in temperatures into the low 40s along the I-95 corridor between D.C. and New York City, but will be much, much, much colder by this time tomorrow morning. Again, single-digit lows returning to the I-95 corridor by Tuesday morning. Well, here's the current surface map, and here it is, this very strong Arctic front now crossing Pennsylvania. Again, there is a spike in temperatures along the East Coast for this morning, and temperatures in the low 40s up and down the I-95 corridor, but they will crash this afternoon after the passage of this Arctic front during the midday hours, perhaps reaching the upper 20s by tonight, and then single-digit lows in D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York City by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be just a brutal day in the Mid-Atlantic region, despite some sunshine, with temperatures struggling to get out of the lower or middle teens and wind chill values way below zero. Meanwhile, today, just absolute brutal cold across the upper part of the Midwest, the Great Lakes region. That will continue to tonight with perhaps 20 degrees below zero in places like Madison near Chicago, and wind chills 40 to 50 degrees below zero over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Again, the core of this, the coldest part of this air mass will be centered in this region right here, meaning the departures from normal will be the greatest. However, extreme cold will go all the way down to the East Coast and down into the Deep South, with a significant frozen precipitation event expected from Tuesday into Wednesday, all the way from Texas to the southeastern part of Virginia. Here's the latest radar loop from NOAA for the Mid-Atlantic region, the northeastern part of the country. There are a few snow showers associated with this Arctic front right here crossing central Pennsylvania, central part of West Virginia, and there certainly can be a rain or snow shower in the I-95 corridor over the midday hours from D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City. The precipitation is not a big deal here. There can be a rain or snow shower, a couple of rain or snow showers during the midday hours. Much of this will fall apart as it crosses the Appalachian Mountains. The big difference, of course, will be in temperatures. Low 40s this morning, but temperatures will crash behind the Arctic frontal passage this afternoon, perhaps reaching the upper 20s along the I-95 corridor by the end of the day. Well, let's take a look at some GFS forecast maps for the next 48 hours or so. This is using last night's 0Z GFS model run. This is the forecast map for this evening. Just a long fetch of air coming from way up there in north central Canada, across the Great Lakes, and by tonight into the mid-Atlantic region, and this will pour all the way down to the deep south, into Texas, into the Gulf coastal region, and again, they're setting up for a frozen precipitation event that will include some significant snow all the way from Texas to southeastern Virginia. Here's a little bit of moisture already gathering some strength here over the Gulf coastal region. Wind chills will be a major factor in the Great Lakes region, in the northeast part of the country, the mid-Atlantic region over the next 48 hours or so. Outrageously cold wind chill levels in the upper part of the Midwest, 30, 40, even 50 degrees below zero over the next 24 hours, and we'll have sub-zero wind chills all day tomorrow here along the I-95 corridor. Here's the GFS forecast map for tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning. High pressure anchoring this brutal cold air mass moving over the upper part of the Midwest. Again, a fetch of air all the way from north central Canada across the Great Lakes right into the northeastern part of the country, and this cold air works its way down the east coast all the way into Florida and the rest of the Gulf coastal region. Here again, some moisture starting to gather itself here in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's now jump ahead to the Tuesday evening forecast map. Well, by tomorrow evening, all of a sudden, quite a bit of precipitation here along the Gulf coastal region, and this is at the same time that cold, brutal Siberian air is penetrating down into the deep south. Expect a major frozen precipitation event from Texas all the way into the southeastern part of Virginia, and again, that could include some significant snowfall in places like the Carolinas from Tuesday into Wednesday. Let's now jump ahead to Wednesday morning. And here it is, the Wednesday morning forecast map. GFS model has a low sitting well off the mid-Atlantic coast, but notice the precipitation backs up in the form of snow all the way into southern New Jersey and just on the doorstep of the Washington, D.C. area. This is a close call here in the I-95 corridor for Wednesday. There's still some time for this to perhaps shift a little bit to the north and west. GFS is kind of known for a southeastern bias in its storm track, especially along the east coast this time of the year. So we'll have to monitor this over the next 24 to 48 hours or so to see if this backs to the north and west and produces some snow even here in the I-95 corridor on Wednesday. But regardless of whether that occurs, we have some bitter cold air moving back to the region from tonight right through Wednesday night, with single-digit lows over the next couple of nights, and just an absolute brutally cold day on Tuesday here in the Mid-Atlantic region. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.